scares the hell out of me. We will be left behind by a lot. AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda.
I try to convince people to slow down AI. It's too late.
We've heard Elon warn us about the potential dangers of artificial intelligence on several occasions, which, according to him, could potentially destroy the entire human civilization. For instance, when Elon was invited to the SXSW annual conference, Elon broke his silence on AI for the first time, stating that AI could potentially be more dangerous than nuclear weapons if its development is not regulated. Take a look.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane.
Elon expressed his reservations on AI development when he appeared at the Recode conference.
I am concerned about certain directions that AI could take that would be not good for the future. I think it'd be fair to say that not all AI futures are benign. Not all.
Okay.
And so I think it's important, if we have this incredible power of AI, that it not be concentrated in the hands of a few and potentially lead to a world that we don't want.
He stated that artificial intelligence might exceed us in every way, therefore we should make sure that it is benign. Take a look.
If you assume any rate of advancement in AI, we will be left behind by a lot. And so then we could be in benign, but even the benign situation, if you have if you have ultra intelligent AI, we would be so far below them in intelligence that it would be like, a pet, basically.
Cat, that's what I was
like
thinking.
a pet,
Like
a cat.
Elon
like
the
a house cat. Yeah,
right.
it would be like the house cat.
Right.
And so if you have something, if we create some digital superintelligence that exceeds us in every way by a lot, it's very important that that be benign.
In another interview with CNN Business, Elon explained that AI is developing at a much faster pace than anyone realizes, and therefore we should be proactive towards it rather than being reactive. Check it out.
AI is much more advanced than people realize, and the pace of progress is much greater than people realize. It'd be fairly obvious if you saw a robot walking around talking and behaving like a person, you'd be like, whoa, that's like, what's that? That would be really obvious. What's not obvious is a huge server bank in a dark vault somewhere with an intelligence that's potentially vastly greater than what a human mind can do. Its eyes and ears would be everywhere. Every camera, every microphone, every device that's network accessible. That's really what AI means. It's not like a robot running around. The robots would simply they'd be like a finger of the AI.
In conversation with HBO, Elon explained that besides the threat of AI weapons, another threat posed by AI is data manipulation. For instance, the advanced AI could manipulate the results of elections and hence start worldwide disputes.
Probably a bigger risk than being hunted down by a drone is that AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda. That would not seem like propaganda.
So these are deep fakes.
Yeah, influence the direction of society, influence elections. Artificial intelligence just hones the message, looks at the feedback, makes this message slightly better. Within milliseconds, it can adapt its message and shift and react to news. And there's so many social media accounts out there that are not people. Like, how do you know it's a person, not a person?
He also pointed out that the conventional approach of regulated things won't be effective for AI, and hence we need to take immediate action.
The way in which a regulation is put in place is slow and linear,
Right.
and we are facing an exponential threat. And if you have a linear response to an exponential threat, it's quite likely the exponential threat will win. That, in a nutshell, is the issue.
When the interviewer asked Elon how AI could destroy humans, Elon responded by giving us a very interesting yet scary analogy. Take a look.
We have AI, which could destroy civilization.
Excuse me, how could AI destroy civilization?
It would be something the same way that humans destroyed the habitat of primates. It wouldn't necessarily be destroyed, but we might be relegated to a small corner of the world When Homo sapiens became much smarter than other primates, it pushed all the other ones into small habitats. They're just in the way.
In another interview with Y Combinator, Elon said that even if advanced AI does not develop its own will, it could be very dangerous because it could get stolen by someone and used unethically.
It's not as though I think that the risk is that the AI would develop a will of its own right off the bat. I think it's more that's the concern is that someone may use it in a way that is bad, and even if they weren't going to use it in a way that's bad, that somebody could take it from them and use it in a way that's bad. That's very dangerous. It could also get stolen by somebody bad, like some evil dictator or country could send their intelligence agency to go steal it and gain control. It just becomes a very unstable situation, I think, if you've got any incredibly powerful AI. You just don't know who's going to control that.
Elon has suggested the machine-brain interface as a means to merge AI with humanity. He believes that this is the only solution to address this threat. Take a look.
I think it's to essentially, I think one of the solutions that seems maybe the best one is to have an AI layer. If you think of like you've got your limbic system, your cortex, and then a digital layer, sort of a third layer above the cortex that could work well and symbiotically with you.
Long-term aspiration for Neuralink would be to achieve a symbiosis with artificial intelligence, and to achieve a sort of democratization of intelligence, such that it is not monopolistically held in a purely digital form by governments and large corporations.
Basically, an effort for man to merge with machine in a healthy way.
Yes.
To beat machines, you basically have to merge with machines.
Most likely, yes. Essentially, how do we ensure that the future constitutes the sum of the will of humanity? And so if we have billions of people with the high bandwidth link to the AI extension of themselves, it would actually make everyone hyper smart.
Okay, so
This is very esoteric.
Yeah, no, but you say this is more psi than phi, so you believe we're headed this
I
way.
believe this can be done. It's really all about laying the groundwork to make sure that if humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. This is the most important thing that we could possibly do.
So, what are your thoughts on Elon's warnings? Do you think this is a really pressing issue? And do you agree with Elon's suggestion to merge humans? And would you be willing to get a chip inside your head in order to compete with AI? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. We'll see you with another interesting video about Elon very soon. Have a good one.